Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mindset Lounge with Morgan. I'm your host, Morgan Eldrett, and this is your space for self-improvement and success. Welcome to another episode. Today, it is a solo episode. I can't even begin to say my gratitude for the love and support on all of the guest episodes. We've had some incredible humans on so far, and their stories that they have shared have been incredible. You guys have resonated so much with them. I have learned so much from them, and I cannot wait for the future guest episodes because there's some epic ones coming up. Little bit of a life update. I have started comp prep. If you listen to any of my previous podcasts, I've probably shared with you that I was in comp prep at the start of the year, ended up having to stop due to some chaos that went on in my life, but we are back for round 2, and this is going to be my pro debut, guys. I haven't stepped on stage for 2 years and I'm so excited for this next season. I'm going to share everything as I go with you on this podcast and on my social media, and I think it's just going to be an epic season. We've got some crazy good guests coming up, high level athletes, high level mindsets. I can't wait to learn, and I can't wait for you guys to learn as well. So strap yourselves in. We've got a really epic 16-ish weeks coming up. So I've got some questions that I asked from my Instagram from you guys. These are really good questions. You guys are really getting deep and wanting to get into the nitty-gritty, wanting to break down your mindsets and evolve your mindsets. It's so exciting. Question number 1. I want to become that girl, the one who's confident and strong. Where do I begin? To become that girl, I really think that you just need to act like her consistently. If you want to be confident, you want to be strong, you want to be like those girls that you see on Instagram, you need to just start doing what that person does. Just start. Now, this isn't like a fake it till you make it situation. This isn't, smile enough and then soon enough you're going to feel happy. This is embodying what your best self does and just doing it over and over and over again, because soon enough you will just become that person. I don't really like the idea of fake it till you make it, because when I think about motivation, if you are not motivated and you go to the gym anyway, technically you are motivated because you went to the gym, and what you feel and what you think doesn't really matter. It's your actions that prove to you and other people who you really are. So if you don't feel confident, but you are doing confident things, if you don't feel strong, but you are doing strong things, if you're scared, but you do things anyway, you are that person. You are confident. You are strong. You are not, you're not giving in to the fear. So don't worry if you mess up. Don't worry if you, don't think about the past. Don't worry about 3 weeks ago when you were really shy. Don't think about yesterday when you were being lazy. You are thinking about right now. You are keeping your best self in the forefront of your mind at all times, and you are acting like that person. You are working towards that person. So step number 1, get clear on who that girl is. How is she confident? How is she strong? How does she show up in her relationships? How does she show up online? Step number 2 is find out where you're not that girl in your life. Where do you struggle to stay consistent? Where do you have the most self-doubt and negative self-talk? Step number 3 is be obsessed with being her. Think about it all the time. Act like it all the time. And get this fake it till you make it out of your mind. Get this thought process that if you don't feel like you're being her, you're not her. Fuck your thoughts. We are focusing on your actions. When you are being your best self, when you are doing the actions that your best self would do, when you're doing the actions that that girl would do, you are her. You are literally being her. Over time, you will believe it and you will embody it, and you'll embody it with certainty that you won't have to try. You won't have to focus on it so much. You won't have to put it in the forefront of your mind. When I was in my last prep, the one that I won my pro card in, I started that prep doing what a pro does. I thought, okay, what would a pro do right now? When I was doing cardio, what would a pro do? When I was meal prepping and thinking about maybe just having an extra gram of rice, what would a pro do? And over time, I didn't have to focus on it. I just started to become that person. And then in the end, I actually literally turned pro. So the more I just did what a pro did, the more I felt like a pro, and then I became a pro. So same thing with you. Question number 2, how do I deal with feeling behind when everyone else seems to have it figured out? Be obsessed with your own journey enough that you don't have time to see what anybody else is doing. If you are constantly worrying about other people, you are not using your energy wisely. If you have X amount of time in your day and you spend half of that time on social media watching everybody else, feeling sorry for yourself and feeling behind, that's time wasted that you could be using to get yourself ahead. I think this might sound funny, but I think sometimes we just need to use it as fuel. We need to use that feeling of being behind as fuel and almost like a wake-up call. Where are you behind and where can you put more effort in to get yourself ahead? Don't let it get you down. Don't let the negative energy make you less motivated. Don't let it fester. If you feel behind, prove it to yourself that you are getting ahead. It's the same kind of concept as I just spoke about before, that fuck your thoughts, focus on your actions. If you feel behind, but you know you're taking the right steps to get ahead, then you are on the right track. If you feel like you're not where you should be, good, then keep working. Use that as motivation to work and work and work. If you feel behind, prove it to yourself that you're working towards a better you through your actions. Then do the work. Focus on your self-growth so that you don't even think about what other people are doing. Be so focused on yourself that you don't know what your competition is doing. You don't know what the people ahead of you are doing. You don't worry about the people behind you. You are just doing you. There's a cool concept from Mark Manson, how he talks about there's idiots all the way up. When we compare ourselves to people ahead of us, people that have the money or have the success, they also don't feel like they've got it figured out. I really don't think there's many people in this world who can say with all of their heart, I've got it figured out. I know exactly what I'm doing. Really, it's idiots all the way up. I remember when I was a kid, I thought my parents had it all figured out. And then when I turned into an adult, I realized, holy shit, neither do they. When you think about teachers, I'm 27 right now. When I was in school, I thought teachers had it all figured out. I thought that they knew everything until I realized that they were just 24-year-olds probably going out on the weekend and getting drunk. Nobody really has it all figured out. So 2 parts to this. Number 1, be so obsessed with yourself that you don't worry about who's ahead of you, who's behind you, what everyone else is doing. You are just working on yourself in your own race. Number 2, realize that nobody's got it figured all out. We're all just here winging it. Really, everyone that you think's got it sorted, they don't know what they're doing either. Question number 3. What are some small daily habits that have had the biggest impact on your mindset? So the things that I do daily that have the biggest impact on my mindset are the things that make me feel good and that I enjoy. So I base everything around that. What do I like to do? What brings me joy? And what makes my mind, body, spirit, soul feel good too? So reading, I love to read. I love to read because I learn. I love to read because it's a bit of quiet time. So I do that, and that's really good for my mindset. Podcasts, I love to listen and learn. I love podcasts as well. So they are great for my mindset as well. Other daily habits that are really good for your mental health are things like sleep, good nutrition, movement. Things that are good for your body are very, very good for your mind. Really, the best thing for your mindset is conscious and continuous effort on your mindset, prioritizing mental clarity and not neglecting your health, doing what you love and just doing what makes you feel good. So for me, I love learning. It makes me excited. It's also good for me, so I do that. I love to move my body. I love to train. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel, energized. So I do that. I love going out in nature because it makes me feel grounded and calm. So I do that. Essentially, just find what you love, find what makes you feel good, and do that because that's what's going to give you the best clarity in your mind. Question number 4. How do you bounce back after a bad day mentally? I love this question, and I've wrote some notes because I really want to nail this answer for you. The first thing I would say to this is, did you have a bad day or just a bad moment which you fixated on and created a bad day? Did you have one thing that went wrong that spiraled and spiraled and spiraled into a bad day and then a string of bad days, which you have now called, this was the worst week ever? Don't let a bad moment turn into a bad day. Don't let a bad day turn into a bad week. Don't let a bad week turn into a bad year. Bad days can snowball real, real quick. So detach yourself from them quickly. Detach yourself from these bad moments quickly. Alex Hormozy says, you're not having a bad year, just a few bad days, you're replaying too much. So I would question whether or not it really was a bad day in the first place. When you get to the end of the day and it's just been a disaster, try and find the moment that was the bad moment that made you spiral. So that's one part. Second part is questioning your thoughts and why have you labeled this bad in the first place? Shift your perspective on bad. What actually went well in your day and what actually quote unquote went bad? Was it bad or was it just hard? Was it bad or was it just an inconvenience? Was it bad or was it just a lesson? When you can shift your perspective around bad, I think it's easier to bounce back and not detach yourself from the bad experience. It is really hard to bounce back from a bad week. You've got to kind of shift your whole mindset. You've got to do some big overwhelming thing. You might have to go for a spa day. But if you can find the bad moment and actually just change your perspective on that bad moment, then I don't think it's all going to be so bad. Hormozy also has this good day formula, which I love. He has a few things that if he does in his day, it equates to a good day. So like time with people you love, going to the gym and having a session with no rush, seeing the sunrise or the sunset or eating good food. And if you did those things, you actually had a good day. You didn't have a bad day. You may have just had a bad moment. So I like to think about my days in this way of what is my good day formula? And if I did those things or one of those things or a few of those things, then it wasn't a bad day. I've just had a bad moment that I've fixated on too much. Question 5, I think. Have you ever struggled with imposter syndrome even as a pro? Yes, absolutely. All the time. And I think it's natural. I think it's actually a good thing. Imposter syndrome doesn't have to be a bad thing. Imposter syndrome can mean you're leveling up and you're challenging yourself. Again, I think it's really good to shift your perspective on these negative things that we have. We say imposter syndrome is a negative. So then when we feel that imposter feeling, we immediately deem that as a bad thing. But if we can shift the perspective on imposter syndrome as not being a negative, being actually proof that you're growing and that you're evolving and you're stepping out of your, comfort zone, then we actually can feel pretty good about it. There's a quote from Jimmy Carr, and he says something along the lines of, if you're not feeling imposter syndrome every 18 months, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. I remember when I won my pro card and I was at a pro show, Callum's first pro show, and I looked up on the stage and I saw those bikini pros and I thought, holy fuck, like, that's me now. Like, whoa. And I felt like an imposter. I was like, what? Like, me? But it was proof that I've leveled up. I'm pushing myself. I'm leveling up. I'm in rooms that I used to dream of being in. And yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's weird. But I'm leveling up and it's fantastic. 4 steps to overcoming imposter syndrome. Number 1, reframe it as a sign that you're leveling up. Number 2, separate your feelings from the facts. Are you really an imposter or are you just feeling like an imposter? Number 3, zoom out and ask yourself, what would 5 years ago you think? So in the case of me, when I went into saw the pro show and I felt like an imposter, 5 years ago, me would be like, holy shit, you did it, girl. 5 years ago, me wouldn't have been like, you got to go. You got to leave, actually, because you shouldn't be here. I would be like, yeah, that's what I've been working for. Duh. And number 4, welcome the imposter syndrome. Don't judge it. Don't judge it. Don't react when it comes up. Just see it, feel it, shift your perspective, separate the feelings from the facts, zoom out, and hopefully that helps. Next question, I don't know what we're up to. What's something you wish more people knew about behind the scenes of this lifestyle? I'm going to assume that this lifestyle is relating to bodybuilding and comp prep. The one thing I wish people knew about bodybuilding and the behind the scenes of high level bodybuilding is that it is pretty boring. Progress is actually pretty boring. If you want to make real progress, it's not linear. It's not this big wow moment. It's a slow burn. Consistency really does move the needle. It doesn't feel glamorous, the behind the scenes of this lifestyle, the consistency of it. It doesn't feel glamorous. The show day can be glamorous. The shredded photos can be glamorous. The before and afters are glamorous. But between that before and that after is a long slog. It is training the same workouts for 8, 10, 12, 16 weeks straight. It's doing the same cardio session every single day for 10 weeks. It's eating the same breakfast for 3 years straight. It's boring and it's not for everyone. And that consistent work over time, that's what gets you progress, but that's also what turns a lot of people off. So the behind the scenes of bodybuilding is something that you need to love and you need to stick out. If you only want to be a bodybuilder for the comp prep or the show, then you're going to have a hard time being consistent for a long, long time, because you must be ready to enjoy the boring bits, because there are a lot of them. Last question. How do you balance being an achiever while still being present with the people around you? I think you can be a high achiever and still be very present with the people in your life. It's going to come down to a few things. It's going to come down to allocating your time wisely and allocating your downtime wisely as well. And it's going to come down to having an environment that supports you and your goals. So, allocating your time and being smart with your time is understanding what all parties in this relationship want and need. Do you need daily time together? Do you need weekly time together? What is it that both parties need to feel present and feel connected? So getting clear on that's probably number one. Number two is then being smart with your time management. Give yourself specific time that you are with your family and friends and having downtime. For me, I like to time block morning and evening slots with Callum, and we time block like a date night once a week. And we have come to that conclusion together. If Callum was wanting dinner every single night together and he wanted all weekend together, but he didn't make that clear with me and I didn't know, then how are we going to manage that? And we've got to come to like a conclusion together. The second thing is make sure your environment actually supports your goals and dreams. The people around you should want to see you win and should want to see you working hard. I have never felt like I've had to dim myself for my people, for my family, for my friends. If I go over to my family's house, my mom is actively saying, like, have you got your steps in? Do you need to go for a walk? Like, there is nobody in my family or my friendship circle that is telling me, oh, don't go for a walk, like stay in, have a cookie. And I am blessed to have a beautiful family that supports me. But I've also been very clear with them that this is what I do. And I've also been very kind of cutthroat with the people in my life. The people in my life are the ones that support me. And if people don't support me, they're not in my life. So I would think that it shouldn't be hard to do both. When you're thinking about your time blocking, you should have time for being present with your family and friends, and you should have an environment and people in your life that want to see you work hard and understand what that means for you and for them. And I think you can do it all. It's hard, but you can do it all. I definitely think so. Have those tough conversations, have that tough boundary with yourself, be clear with your family and your friends, and, let them know you want support and you want them to, share this journey with you. Being a high achiever doesn't mean you have to be isolated whatsoever. So that's my Q&A episode, guys. I hope you loved hearing my answers to your questions. If you loved this episode, please screenshot it and share it on your Instagram story. If you think that somebody would resonate with one of these answers, please go and send it to them. And if you love Mindset Lounge, please go and leave a 5-star review on Spotify. It really helps me a lot, and it's going to help me get you better guests, and it's just means the world to me to keep growing this podcast. Have the best day. Love ya.